Besides academically proving himself at CCA, he also excelled in online classes through CCU, which is Calvary Christian University, part of which was the study of Greek and Hebrew languages. Jonathan is graduating with a college preparatory diploma of distinction with a ministry endorsement track in conjunction with CCU. In addition, Jonathan found time during his 4 years of high school to actively participate in the Fight Club, where their goal was to raise awareness of worldly injustice and corruption. In 3 years, the club raised over $30,000 to help with the Dalit Freedom Network in the country of India. Also, don't mess with Jonathan because he has a black belt in karate and is a certified instructor in karate. His calculus teacher said this, Mrs. Darby told me that Jonathan is brilliant. He keeps her on her toes. He sees math in unexpected ways. He will study a problem on the board and reply, "I don't think that's right." She works the problem through in various ways and is able to solve it until he is satisfied. She continued to describe Jonathan's real pursuit is understanding, not just the high grade. He will focus on one problem that he got wrong on a test, one problem, until he's convinced that he understands how to do it. So it's my pleasure to introduce our salutatorian tonight, Jonathan Frivola.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to start off with a brief thanks to a bunch of different people. Really, I love you all so much, and just thank you for all, just always being there for me in this time at CCA. And start by thanking my family, my mom, my dad, that new guitarist for synesthesia, and of course, Nathers. Then I'd like to thank my super rare, awesome chocolatey fudge-coated mega super friend, Joel Schutte, my fellow shape-shifting cat, Walmart Shoes, aka Carberry. There are really too many of you to mention. Of course, there's a provider of countless Studio Ghibli movies, Alexa Kinsey's, the other Jigglypuff, Simon Gosling, the B-Master, Jenna Cox, the son of the Pope, Mauricio. I wish I had time to tell all of you how much you mean to me. I mean, there's so many more. Chris, Kira, Alex Bartlett, and Alex Gomez, just all of you so much. Also, for my teachers, I've had so many wonderful teachers over the year. Thank you really just to all of you, even those of you who I haven't had as teachers. Just sometimes being able to see you in the hallways and just occasionally chatting with you, it means a lot. And for those like Schott and Ozelniks who helped me realize my love of the Bible and languages, thank you specifically. Now, to get to the point, I was thinking, what would I want to actually tell my class and everyone else around here? As you know, we're all about to go off to college and everything. And I was thinking the main thing that I would want to leave you with would be, what's holding you back? Because, I mean, so many people just have all sorts of things that really could be holding them back. And if you're going off to college with the wrong mindset, you might be really missing out on a lot of things in life. And I know that for me, for a long time, what was holding me back was this sort of worry I had. I was worrying for many, many years up until a bass teacher actually said to me, "Hey, I think your problem that you have is worrying." I'm like, "What is this? This is ridiculous. There's no way that worrying is a problem. I mean, that's kind of lame, right?" But it really was. And it was something that I never actually realized for so many years, and that day changed my life. And you know, you might have something like that in your life that you're just holding on to for so long, and it's going to stop you from actually progressing to where you want to be. And I always think of this story. It's a story from one of my favorite books called God Smuggler. It's a story about a missionary, and he was actually, before he became a Christian, he was fighting in Vietnam, and he got injured in battle. And he was talking actually with this nun who came into his room. She gave him, I believe she gave him a Bible, something along those lines, and then said, because he had a pet monkey this entire time. That was also previously explained. Yes, but this is important. She said, "Do you know why? Do you know how they catch those monkeys there?" And he's like, "I don't know. Why would I know something like that?" And she said, "Well, what they do is pretty simple. All they do is they drill a hole in the coconut, just the right size, so that they can place a pebble in it, and then they leave it out in the jungle, and a monkey will wander along. And of course, these are curious creatures, you know, Curious George and whatnot. So they'll reach their hand inside that little hole, find the pebble, and they'll think they have a treasure. And they'll be so determined to get it out, but the hole's just the right size at that point, so that their fist that they make clenching the pebble can't get out of the coconut. At that point, it's really pretty easy for them to go and pick up this creature and bring it into captivity. And sometimes that's what it's like for us. We keep holding on to things that really aren't treasures, even though we might think they are. And I just hope that as you go into college that you really won't just keep holding on. I'm going to pull a Frozen and say, let it go, guys, okay? But really, it does have so much meaning. And just think of how much God will be able to do when you finally let go of these things. Think of what he'll do in your life and just sort of the sanctification process that will go on. It's so important that you really just overcome these difficulties, and I know that God will help you through it. So ultimately my goal is just don't be discouraged, because discouraged usually comes from an inaccurate perspective. In the end, when you realize how much God's already done with you and how much he's doing and will do with you, there's no reason to be discouraged. So with that, I'd just like to say congratulations, everyone, and good night.
All right, CCA's 2014